A massive TNA departure has been revealed. AEW and WWE are reportedly in the hunt for this new free agent. We're going to talk about that, plus some very interesting news surrounding WWE and CM Punk's dog. It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. All right, y'all. I hope you are all having a great day, a great week. We are back. We got some very interesting stuff here. Saturday night's main event is, in fact, confirmed for its second episode. According to WrestleVotes, sources indicate NBC's second episode of Saturday night's main event is set for January 25th, with the location still to be decided. WrestleVotes calls this a bold scheduling move because it lands just 1 week prior to the Royal Rumble. Now, I find this to be incredibly fascinating news, and quite frankly, I'm very intrigued by this because it is a bold decision to say the least. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the Royal Rumble and Saturday night's main event, technically, it feels like two pay-per-views back-to-back, right? On back-to-back weekends. Saturday night's main event, look, guys, we don't know what it's going to be like. The first one, very well. It's happening in December. You know, the belief is that this is going to be a primetime special, but WWE is going to treat it like a premium live event. And rightfully so. It's going to be on NBC. It's going to be simulcasted on Peacock. WWE is obviously going to, they got to go balls to the wall here. Now, what's really interesting is by them doing the second episode 1 week prior to the Royal Rumble, you have to wonder what exactly is the plan. Now, listen, if I'm the WWE, let's say Saturday night's main event is 2 hours long, you got to have 3 or 4 quality matches, big stories, and you got to have at least one major angle to get people excited for the following week's episodes of TV. Now, if WWE is smart and they do that and they treat this like a PLE and it's actually treated like a big deal, you can actually use this as a great way or a great tool to build to the Royal Rumble. Now, of course, with the WWE, one thing that we have seen them do with PLEs is that certain matches get left off of premium live events. Sometimes you see an Intercontinental Championship being defended on Raw in the main event, or the US title being defended on SmackDown instead. Same thing with the tag team titles. If I were WWE, what I would do is whatever your top stories that can't be on the Royal Rumble card due to the fact that there's 2 Royal Rumble matches, if I'm WWE, dude, I load up Saturday night's main event. I make that a very, very, very big deal. And it would be a really good way to highlight your tag team division. It would be a really good way to highlight your Intercontinental Champion and your US champion. And the reason why I would do that is because if you know, Braun Breaker or LA Knight, if technically speaking, they're still holding the belts by this time, you can imagine some really cool stuff can happen if they drop the belt and then maybe potentially go into the Royal Rumble and maybe even win it. There's a lot of possibilities there. I'm super excited to see what happens. All right, guys, this is a funny story. CM Punk's dog is actually outselling many WWE stars in the world of merchandise. And this is just ridiculously funny to me because Larry is not even on WWE programming. Guys, we're talking about a freaking dog here. According to WrestleVotes Radio on Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Patreon, it was noted that Larry's merchandise has outsold and really just outdrawn several stars on WWE's roster. Joey Votes says that some wrestling merchandising news, we are told WWE was absolutely thrilled with the initial run items of Larry the Dog, CM Punk's dog, so much so that we are told to expect multiple new Larry items to be featured upon CM Punk's return to TV. A source did say that Larry the Dog outdrew several current WWE stars as well as legends on WWE Shop over the course of his merchandising release. Dude, this is crazy. This is absolutely mind-boggling to me. And it's really just the state of professional wrestling, right? Like, I think a lot of people they're going to argue the semantics of this. They're going to argue about a lot of stuff here. But the truth is, CM Punk is a top talent. And Larry has been brought up in promos. And Larry has been brought up in interviews. And people are very familiar with Larry. And I think, Larry is a very integral part of the reason why CM Punk is not in AEW, right? So I think a lot of people are automatically drawn to support CM Punk by purchasing Larry merchandise. Now, what I will say is this, I find it fascinating news, but also, why are your other wrestlers not selling more merchandise? Why is a dog beating out some other talent? Now, I don't have an exact list of who this dog is actually outselling, but just to think for a second that there are people on national television who have a fan base, the fact that their stuff is not being sold more than Larry, it's just absolutely mind blowing to me. It's absolutely mind blowing to me. I'm absolutely shocked to even see that this is something being discussed. But it also goes to show you how much of a powerhouse WWE is when it comes to merchandising. Um, yeah, I wish that was being replicated across the board for all of their talent. There's a lot of people who don't have merchandise, and Larry the dog is outselling a lot of people. It's just really crazy. I felt like we had to talk about it. And quite frankly, when it comes to merch, you guys should check out Ango.live. 15% off gets you guys more. It's just a great deal this holiday season if you guys want to support the channel. 15% off, use the code WINTER. Okay, main event time, ladies and gentlemen. Speedball Mike Bailey is gone from TNA. Now, I had talked about this previously, that there were rumors that he could be gone. It's official. Fightful Select has reported that Bailey's contract expired on November 1st. It appears that he is officially out of the promotion. Right now, it said that AEW and WWE are both interested. WWE was reportedly interested in Speedball Mike Bailey prior. This is one of those things where, you know, he obviously couldn't come to NXT. When was it? 2014, 2015. He couldn't come to NXT then. Now this is a situation where potentially he could go to NXT. I'm gonna break this down for you guys. I love Speedball Mike Bailey. I felt like this guy should have been the world champion in TNA at some point. This is a massive departure. He absolutely helped carry this company through some dark times. This guy was a hell of an X Division champion. He did a lot of great things on television. The matches with Vikingo, incredible. This is one of those guys where him leaving TNA absolutely sucks. With that being said, though, I do want to point this out. Speedball Mike Bailey should go to NXT. I'm going to tell you guys why. If he goes to AEW, he's going to be wrestling banger matches on Collision and Rampage. That's it. If he goes to WWE NXT, he has a very big opportunity to be where right now where NXT is lacking is the main event scene for the men. Right there, that should be, I mean, this is a no-brainer. You bring in Speedball Mike Bailey, he will be over with the fans. The fans already know who he is. My main concern about Speedball Mike Bailey is how would he transition to the WWE main roster? And another thing that I think I really need to mention too is if he is more than a Rampage and Collision wrestler, how will AEW effectively get him up to that next level? I think that's going to be a very difficult task for AEW. There's not many success stories, whereas in WWE, we have seen more of those success stories. I just think if he could be in NXT forever, that would be amazing. But who knows what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.